Hello and welcome back. I am Daniel of Earth and this is the fourth part of my old house painting. In this part, I will be using titanium white, Mars black, primary blue, and light blue violet. In this first section of the video, I will just be working on the shadows that I'm going to be putting in the snow around the house. As you can see, some of those lines are still kind of poking through the roof a little bit from when I painted those trees. But once I get a bit more of the shadow down on the roof, it'll be a little bit harder to tell. Of course, adding in my directional shadows for my chimney, and for the house in the snow on the ground. For most of these parts, I'm going to be using that flat head brush that I have again. And I just want to blend out some of these shadows. We don't want any very, very harsh edges on these shadows, especially the ones on the ground, because we do not have just a simple, single directional light source. Our sunlight source is going to bounce around in the environment, it's going to bounce off the snow, and it's going to make shadows on very different parts of the landscape. Now you might be wondering, Daniel, why are you putting shadows on the front of the house and in the bottom left corner of the painting? Well, I have some plant life that needs to go in those areas later in the next and final part of this painting. So I need to preemptively put their shadows down in the snow while I have the colors. And as per usual, I'm just using that flathead brush to straighten out some of these lines. And to add some of that shading back in on the chimney. Now in this next part, I will be using titanium white, Mars black, primary blue, light blue violet, and burnt umber. I'll be working on the reflections in the windows. Just adding a bit of shadow to some of those windows, because we can see in them a little bit, but not too much. Mostly we're going to be seeing the reflection of the trees on the outside of those windows. And now I'll start working on the reflection of the trees. I don't want to make these super dark, but I do want them to be noticeable. They should not be as dark or as prominent as the trees behind the house. So I will be going over any dark spots and lightening them up a little bit to make them look more like reflections and less like they're just trees standing inside the house at all the windows. And I'll be working on some of the underside of that roof and adding some shadow to that as well. And we do want to make sure that when we're adding shadow under that roof that we make it a little bit darker, closer to where the overhang in the roof is. Looks like that's about all the time I have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it and you want to see more videos like this. Make sure to ring that bell so you know when my next video comes out. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.